Shut up.
I just wanted to say hi to them.
Shut up. Face the wall. Turn around. Turn around. No sudden movement, sir. Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Yeah.
And you weren't really sparring. You were fighting. We were fighting all the time. And just guys getting dropped all the time. And that was just the kind of gym that I was in.
This wasn't a real fight. He was pulling punches. He wasn't giving it his full effort.
Joe Rogan reacted strongly to rumors that Jake Paul was arrested over allegedly scripted boxing fights. Rogan argued that no career milestone is worth risking your life, stressing that boxing's dangers are real and never to be taken lightly. Reports suggest Rogan believes Paul should rethink his choices before returning to the ring, warning that chasing fame or money through high-risk bouts isn't worth the consequences. Amid recent controversies surrounding Paul, Rogan again emphasized that reckless fighting can lead to severe harm, and that any illegal or scripted activity could trigger serious legal consequences for a fighter in the sport today.
You have probably seen some of the controversy he's been tangled up in recent months.
Joe Rogan emphasized that boxing is extremely dangerous and continuing to fight recklessly could have severe consequences. He also warned that engaging in illegal or scripted activities could lead to legal action against the fighter.
Life is ruined because then you can't think, you can't do things, you don't know what the fuck you're doing in life. It's like literally everything is the quality of your ability to think. And
Rogan explained that when your life is ruined, your ability to think clearly disappears, affecting every decision you make. He admitted knowing he was putting that mental clarity at serious risk. Meanwhile, Nikisa Badarian firmly denied any wrongdoing by Jake Paul or his team, rejecting claims that the Anthony Joshua fight was scripted. He called online rumors completely false, including allegations that Joshua agreed not to knock Paul out. Nikisa stated Joshua fought genuinely and decisively, with no hidden arrangements involved. He emphasized that Jake trained seriously, competed honestly, and accepted real danger inside the ring. According to Nikisa, these accusations have gone too far, prompting legal action against those spreading false narratives. He stressed that clearing the record is essential to protect Jake Paul's reputation and his team's credibility, making it clear the fight was legitimate, unscripted, and not fixed in any way.
I've seen the script, rigged, this, that, and the other. Do you think now, at the very least, that talk goes away? Broke his jaw, went in there against Anthony Joshua. At the very least, do you think that you guys can move on from that? Like, that won't follow you?
No, I don't. I actually, our lawyers are actively going after a number of people. One who claims to be a lawyer himself online. I don't remember the name or the handle, but it was something that had like 200,000 likes. And basically this post said there was an agreement for AJ not to knock out Jake, but AJ disregarded the agreement and decided to not get his payday, but knock out Jake Paul. So it's pretty astonishing what people say. Your dear friend Lou DiBella, saw him put up a bunch of ridiculous things and even said, Nikisa, go ahead and sue me. But this wasn't a real fight. He was pulling punches. He wasn't giving it his full effort.
And so for the people, again, just to clear this up, because I asked Eddie this question, I'll ask you the exact same question. Once and for all, was there any sort of arrangement as far as it should go this many rounds? Because that's the one that I've heard. Oh, Anthony agreed to 3 rounds, 4 rounds. Can you tell us in black and white if there were any talks of any kind between the network, the promotion, the fighter?
There has never once in Jake Paul's career been any talk of that sort, of anything to do with the fight being anything but a real fight that has exactly the same situation as any professional fight. And that's exactly the same thing here for the Anthony Joshua fight. It's just beyond mind-blowing that people would think that. Anthony Joshua was on record saying that if he didn't finish him in the first round, that would be disappointing, that it would be a failure. The narrative changed as we got closer to fight night and obviously post-fight, and I understand why, but they were pretty adamant it would take max 2 rounds.
Joe Rogan has already warned Jake Paul against repeating reckless decisions in boxing. He urged Paul to rethink high-risk fights, stressing that no career milestone is worth risking your life. Rogan emphasized the real dangers of the ring, warning that chasing fame or money through risky or staged bouts can lead to serious consequences. Fighter safety and responsibility, he said, must always come first.
Look at all them celebrities like dude from the Mighty Ducks, the little boy actor
that got strung out on drugs. And all his fronts and all his teeth were missing from being on meth or whatever, you know what I mean, whatever drug of choice he was on. There's no coming back from that. The people who like dissipate their teeth through drug usage, you don't get like a second set. So if I'm not mistaken, the dude from Mighty Ducks, somebody like he's been clean and they gave him a makeover and he has like pretty much fake teeth. So yeah, the teeth are going to be cooked. Now, I agree with the other part that Rogan was saying, but let's keep going.
Yeah, I think he went into that fight knowing that was probably going to happen, and ultimately, the big win for him would be that he was even willing to do it, and that he could do well for a little bit.
Yeah, and I've already expressed my thoughts on this. I'm not giving no props for a person who says I am a real deal boxer because I went in and get smashed and got my jaw broken, but I lasted longer than Ngannou. But I was crazy enough to try. Because, to be honest, we're way past the honeymoon stage with a person like Jake Paul. You've been in this for long enough to go through fight camps, dedicate your time, effort, energy, money, spar with people. You spar with some quality names because you have resources and money or whatever. So we're well past that to the point where you just get credit for stepping in. You maybe got credit your first fight or whatever, first couple of fights, for coming from your background and, you know, stepping in and fighting, but we're well past that. You have a box rec. You were being ranked by sanctioning bodies in boxing.
Eddie Hearn shared a detailed breakdown of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, emphasizing the strategic planning behind every exchange. He explained that Joshua's team followed a disciplined game plan, favoring patience and controlled aggression instead of reckless attacks. The goal was to gradually pressure Paul, expose weaknesses, and test his stamina before landing decisive blows. Hearn highlighted that this calculated approach represents true professional boxing, where timing, discipline, and tactics matter more than raw power. Each phase of the bout was designed to maintain control while steadily asserting dominance. According to Hearn, this method not only secured victory, but also showcased boxing as an intelligent, tactical sport where smart decisions and execution separate elite fighters from inexperienced challengers.
He said before the fight, I'm going to break him down, and then I'm going to knock him out. And that's exactly what he did. I thought it'd be all over within 3 rounds. But, you know, when I got in the ring after, because I was shouting, just, you know, anywhere, arms. I got in, he went, what are you rushing me for? And I was like, oh, sorry. So, but like, obviously he knows what he's doing, and actually now quite pleased that we got the rounds, to be honest.
Yeah, I saw you said that. Really random, I was on Twitter and I saw Jake Paul's mum said she wants to get in the ring and punch you. She said she doesn't like the smug look on your face. She is promoting her book, so I'm not sure if she wants, you know. But did you see that? What did you think of that?
No, I was very sad because I couldn't have been nicer and more respectful of Jake and what he's done. And I think Logan's amazing. I think he's an incredible athlete. And I shook Jake Paul's dad's hand in the ring, you know. And if I would have seen Mum, I would have said, all right. But I think over the years, we've obviously had our beef, and she probably don't like me anyway. And I am probably a little bit smug. I wasn't smug after the fight because I would have been more smug if it was all over in a round. Yeah. So, no, I give Jake respect. And, yeah. Sorry, Jake's mum doesn't like me, but if she can send me a free...
Adam Catterall offered a blunt assessment of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul bout, highlighting the imbalance created when popularity dictates modern boxing matchups. He argued that Paul's rapid ascent owes more to social media fame than proven skill or ring experience. According to Catterall, even while holding back his full power, Anthony Joshua showed elite control, timing and accuracy, landing shots that caused real damage and exposed the clear class gap. This contrast fueled speculation that parts of the fight were shaped by outside pressures rather than pure competition. Rumors suggested Paul tried to manage the pace to reduce risk and protect appearances, echoing wider concerns about celebrity boxing favoring spectacle over authenticity. Catterall warned that hype-driven events can erode competitive integrity, shifting focus from skill, strategy, and the traditional values that define professional boxing in the modern sports landscape.
Own credibility, I've got to knock you out, but I've got to try and knock you out where I'm not hurting you as much as what I could if I unleashed.
Yeah.
And with the punch you said that he landed, it's not his best punch,
It's
his
an arm
most
punch,
powerful
mate.
punch,
It's an
right?
arm punch.
Yep. And he's shattered his jaw in 2 places, right? So Anthony Joshua gets his 70 million, whatever it is. But I think he's sitting there thinking, thank God for that. Thank God. On a human level, I've come out, all right, I've sort of, not reputation, but I haven't hurt him as bad as
Mate,
what I could have.
There should be an awful amount of people breathing a massive sigh of relief. Anybody that put that fight together, athletic commissions, like you said.
Well, it wasn't a fight.
No, it wasn't at all. Like you said, it was a prize
Yes.
fight. It was an event. If Anthony damages him, he's got to live with that for the rest of his life.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of stress to deal with. You know what I mean? So I'm sure he's bleeding inside of relief. The team that have put him in there, that have negotiated that for him, but the authorities that put that on and commissioned it as a proper boxing match, I've no doubt.
Does that go on his... Because
yeah, it's a professional boxing
do you know what? If I was Anthony Joshua, I would be saying, I don't want that on my record.
Well,
but for the credibility of them putting the fight on, they would have said to him, no, we've got to say this. It's been commissioned. It's going to be a proper fight. And I found it, I love my boxing, but I just find the whole thing really, really unedifying. You said about get followers. You mentioned Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is nowhere near his level of getting like a British title fight or whatever. Nowhere near. So it's basically he's like...
Beat Jake Paul.
Well, beat Jake Paul. But so
but what I'm saying is that's 100. I stand by that, and I think Tommy would admit that. You know what I mean? To become a British champion is a very prestigious thing to do, and I think
Sam Jones delivered a blunt reaction to the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, saying it was hard to watch due to obvious technical flaws rather than violent exchanges. He noted Paul struggled with boxing fundamentals like defense, footwork, and reacting to Joshua's combinations. These repeated mistakes created a constant imbalance and exposed the clear gap in skill and experience. Observers also felt certain sequences looked choreographed, as if the action was guided to limit real danger. While acknowledging Paul's training effort, Jones argued the talent and ring IQ mismatch, combined with hints of controlled pacing, made the bout feel uneasy for viewers expecting real tension. The fight highlighted the risk of blending celebrity appeal with elite boxing, where a spectacle can overpower authenticity and leave fans questioning legitimacy in contests that promise competition but deliver entertainment-driven outcomes instead, under bright global scrutiny today worldwide.
Joshua knocking out and breaking Jake Paul's jaw. Just talk to me right now about the fight itself, and then we'll break it down.
Bit of a crap fight, if we're all honest. It was like watching Jaws 2 when all the kids went out on their boats and they were in the middle of the sea, and the shark was just surrounding the boat, just like that's what it was like. It was just like a shark circling its prey, and just like it was like nibbling, and eventually got him. But Jake Paul showed big plums in there, no matter what anybody says about him, because I've seen people say, yeah, he went in there to survive. Yeah, okay, he went in there to survive. He's a guy that's been boxing a couple of years against a unified champion of the world who can really punch. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best fight. It just wasn't the best thing to watch, was it? Like it was just, it weren't great. I just want to see now Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. I think at the stages of their careers they're at, AJ and Tyson Fury, we don't need to see interim fights, Andrew. We don't need to see interim fights because they're just potential banana skins. We want to see two of the best heavyweights of this era going at it. And